What's good, Joe? What's my review for this week's episode of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Golden? I gotta say, man, bro, this was definitely the best episode of Golden Wind so far, and it looks like we're starting to get in the territory of like, alright, Golden Wind's starting to get really fucking good, and then we can start telling, oh, this is bad, this is bad, we might get to the sooner or later, get to the conversation like, oh, this is my favorite part of JoJo, like I said, we'll start with Crusaders, then Diamond is Unbreakable. Now, I don't know if it's going to get to Diamond Unbreakable levels because of how good fucking Kira was in that whole last arc as a whole. But if the episodes continue like this, now I don't know if we're going to get, like, if this could continue this quality in the weeks to come, because this episode had a lot of the great things I love about JoJo. Of course, there's the suspense. There was a whole there was everything that happened like the latter half with Pesci, and you had that whole Mexican standoff they had at the beginning, or at the end of the episode. Excuse me. And we found out apparently the treasures of Sandy's, which we'll talk about that in a second. So with all this said and done, man, this episode was overall fucking phenomenal. But enough of me rambling. Let us just jump right in. So we started this off with Bucciarati and the other guy, which I think we see guy's name called time the episode, but I'm drawing a blank on it right now. Of course I am. But they're like, you know, like the dude's grabbing onto like the opening of the zipper. I was like, you're like, Pesci, close. He's like, Pesci, hit the emergency brake or whatever, stop the train. But he's like, oh, big bro, I knew the first thing about stopping a train. And then the zipper starts falling, and they both fall off. And then the last thing is Pesci, and then while they're falling, about to hit one of like the railings or whatever, and that's gonna be like the end of their days. Pesci throws out his fishing rod last time, be like, big bro! And then he manages to catch him, right? He manages to catch his hand, and they're like, whoo! And then it just manages to dodge one of the beams, one of the boards or whatever, and they're just kind of just hanging against the train. They're like, oh! And then he tries to get Bucciarati out, but Bucciarati manages to stick back on with Superman, which I give props to Bucciarati's dub voice actor. Now he's been great throughout the series, but this episode, the man really shined. This episode, Bucciarati became so much more of a badass in my eyes. I always liked Bucciarati. I thought Brewer was really cool, but after this episode, bruh, he's fucking beast. I think I would probably say Bucciarati's probably my favorite character in Part 5. Right now, and obviously not counting any of the previous part characters that have made an appearance, like Koichi. Bruno's definitely my favorite of the names. I like Jordan and all the other guys, but Bruno's where it's at, my boys. But anyway, so he goes in there. The dude legit actually apologized to Bruno, saying what he said to him about being like a shit cop or whatever was done in poor taste. And so yeah, he like legit apologizes, like, you know, my life platform is very high, but he then tries to attack him, telling me like, you know, my agent's gonna still send you into early grip. Bruno actually goes for a punch, and he just misses the man in the black suit. And while at the same time he goes in there and punches and hits Zipperman right in the chest. And then Bruno tells him like, you fool. I know everything there is to know about this dude's fishing rod, something along those lines. We see that he actually punched the fishing rod, and that the impact from that is going to be sent back to him. So what actually happens is that so he punches it, and then his hand opens up from the zippers, and then he uses Zipperman or whatever to get his hand into the hook, thereby making him go up the train, and he's gonna have a date with that beam over there, you know, and get knocked and get beat and get killed and get fucked off, you know. So Bruno goes up on top of the roof. Number 6 going on about kicking fisherman's ass or whatever. I forget exactly what he said. And then I gotta give some props to Pesci. I don't know who voices Pesci in the dub, but I gotta give that man huge props for this episode. He was fucking fantastic in this episode. So the dude is like, so he's like, oh, my load just got a lot lighter now. Looks like he got rid of that stranger Bucciarati. But then he starts to know, so like, wait. I'm positive it was his right. I hooked his left hand, but why is it his right? And I think it was like, I'm positive that his pinky was on the right side of the hook, but now it's on the left. Man starts sweating, absolutely sweating. Think like, oh shit, did he actually his brother had to buy the big one? He has Bucciarati on his line. But before we can really see, he's like going to go like, could someone please make sense of this? Cause I'm freaking the F out right now, you know? He's going crazy. And then actually one of the other passengers on it, since the rapid aging has finally started to decrease. One of their guys tells him to hit the brakes, hit the emergency brake. That this train's gonna kill us all. Pesci just kind of stands there for a bit before he just legit starts to fucking crying, thinking that he actually got his brother killed. And the dude's like, "Why are you crying like a little bitch?" You know, and it's like they tell him to hit the brake. And he calls him Mamone. I forgot what it was called, Mamone. I don't even know what the hell that means. If any of y'all speak Italian or know Italian swears, tell me what a Mamone is in the comments, because I'm legit curious what that means. Does that mean bitch? You know, what does that actually mean? Anyway, so after that, Pesci's like, "Serious and so big, bro." He's on the floor crying, but then the other guy's like, "Fuck this, I'm gonna just do it myself." He tries to get into the cockpit or whatever you call the drops. And then he's just like he then dies. And then Ben's like, "Big bro, we find out that the motherfucker is still alive and is underneath the fucking train." Excuse me. The dude is legit underneath the fucking train. He's just chilling down there, and we see Bruno. He's starting to age up as well. And by this point, Pesci just gets completely JoJoified. Now you might be asking, Glenn, the fuck you mean JoJoify? First off, the man after the dude goes like, "Oh, big bro, we have to continue. You could die any second, but yet you weren't going to keep your stand active. Dying like a true warrior." Like he has his whole thing spilled out when he's like gonna lose his brother and everything. But I love the shot right there where he's like has like his hand against and has a hand on the door and it's like his head is down. He's just like, "Oh, big bro," you know. I really love that shot. So props to either Rocky or the cinematographer for part 5. Or whoever this episode was. So anyway, after that, the dude just kind of jokes. Like, first off, the dude gets first off, his demeanor and his voice completely changed. The man does a complete 180. He said, "We like, oh, big bro." He's like, "Well, big bro." Like, the dude completely changed. He has his own JoJo pose. Yeah, I feel like I'm watching fucking Jotaro right now. And then and then after he's like, "Oh yeah," and like the shots here were great. And I was just sitting there watching the episode being like, "Nani?" Like the man's personality did a whole 180. So then he goes on top of the guy's neck. He like puts his foot right on top of the guy's neck. The guy just died that was calling him a Momona and everything. And he's just like, and then he like, I don't know, breaks his neck, snaps it. Either way, you hear a crack. And he's just like, "Oh, you know what? Taking a life didn't feel that bad. It's not as bad as I was feared it to be." And by this point, the man's gotten serious about getting Bruno. So Bruno tries to get the thing out, tries to just like open up his hand to get the hook out. You know, simple enough. He's good. And then what he does is like, "Oh, so you got it out of your hand." Means nothing. And then gets back in his hand. He does it again. Does some fancy footwork, being like trying to get out of there, and it still ends up getting in his arm. He's like, "Merda!" And by this point, he just starts throwing him around, trying to get him back inside, throwing him up in the air to where the power lines are to kill him, obviously. Bruno, the last image, is like open like a hole in the roof of the train, opens it up, which takes the bounce, and he gets inside, and he thinks he's safe. So by this point, he's just like, "Oh, whatever," and he's like, "I still feel a pulse. Bucciarati is still alive." And by this point, Bruno's trying to think of a way, or Bucciarati's trying to think of a way to get out of this. What he ends up doing is just hitting the line over and over, and then he's just hitting it all over the stand, and eventually his entire body just opens up. Like, his whole body is just connected into different parts, you know, and he looks like fucking Mr. Potato Head right now, with his body all kind of like thrown about. And this is when the episode really gets good. This is when Rocky is flexing those suspension muscles. I've mentioned this before. In terms of anime, no one does suspense better than Rocky, especially in part 4. You guys saw this in my reviews of part 4 when I was reviewing it, that the two scenes in question, which were when Kira was inside it was in the gym, it was underneath some of the equipment while Josuke, Okuyasu, and what's his name, were all, I forget his name, Harvest. His name was Harvest. I forget the dude's name. He was like, and they're all just talking about, like, he was like, "Oh, you guys want any tea or anything?" You know, like that. That scene, he's just sitting there trying to get his hand back. And the other scene, which was with Shota, I think his name was, and Kira around the end of part 4, when Kira was still like assimilating to the family, and after he found out what he had done, and they just sitting there in the bathroom, and he's like, why are you sweating so much? You look like a guilty little pig right first long as the heat get to you. You know, that whole scene, and it wasn't down on that level with the second one. I was like on the edge of my seat, be like, oh shit, is Bucciarati gonna make it? Is Bucciarati gonna die? Is Bucciarati gonna get caught? You know, it gets batshit crazy around there, but enough of me rambling about it. Let's discuss it. So Pesci is looking around for Bucciarati, and he's like, I need to find his pulse. Damn it, where is he? And Bucciarati and got Nemesis being like, oh my god, you're taking this too far, Bucciarati! You need to stop. He's like, quiet now. As long as I stay perfectly still, he shouldn't be able to find me. I must stay perfectly. He also goes on about something about capos or whatever. I don't know. He was just speaking Italian, so I didn't really catch it. And then we find out the dude's brother's name. He was like, it's called like Pericio, I think was what it was called, something along those lines. Where he's like, oh damn it, paranoia is a weakness of the mind. That's what he would tell me. And then we get his voice. I'm like, quiet. He's like, Pesci, believe in yourself. If anybody can find a vague heartbeat on this train ride from hell, it's you. So he looks around, he starts adding, he like fires off his light even more, so I'm giving him more room. And by this point, he's telling, Numbers is like, Bucciarati! He's telling him, like, dude, you need to stop this, you made your point. And then some of the line lands on where Bucciarati's heart, which was weird seeing his heart just standing there beating, and then around is just like this silver, this like purple, like, void or abyss or whatever. It looked cool and kind of weird at the same time. But it lands there at this point, and there was also another guy in the term which he already nailed by that point. And this is when you start to get on the edge of your seat, like, oh shit, is he got? But once he gets on top of the line, you're like, oh shit. And then he starts to like, all right, I feel it's vague, but I can feel it. And then he's like, and then Bucciarati slowly reaches over there and splits his heart in two. Yes, you heard me right. He takes Superman, just has it split it in half, and then the vibrations are gone, and he's back to being good. At this point, it's batshit insane. You're like, oh shit, is he gonna live? Is he gonna die? Is it gonna be all three? Is it gonna be both options? Is he gonna get caught and then die, or is he not gonna get caught but still die? Wait and see. And then he's going on about like, oh, did he take out my brother? Oh, I gotta stop this train. If the agent's gone, then his friends will come after me. He got a lot on his plate at the moment. So he's just like, fuck this, I'm done. And he ends up calling back his line, and now Bucciarati's free. So the dude goes over there to reattach his heart. But we head back to Pesci. The dude is like kicking the controls, and he's like, damn it, why won't this train stop? And then it finally stops, and then no, that happens later. The train turns, but once it turns, it actually kind of moves his like body parts away from him, and then like the white particles start to come from his body, and Bucciarati's like, so this will be my fate. He is the victor. And it's like he's gonna die. Number 6 trying to be like, Bucciarati! He's trying to push it back, but he can't, because I guess it's just too heavy for him to lift. I mean, he is a small dude. But then we get the Pesci kicking the controls, and the train finally stops. Then all of his body parts just coming right back towards him. He reattaches his heart, and he's good. And that guy, like I mentioned before, I was on the edge of the seat. I don't think it was like on the level of the one with Kira and Shoto, or whatever the kid's name was, or Hayato. That was his name, Hayato. Between Hayato, that like legit, man was having an out of body experience at that one. I was like, oh my god, is he gonna die? I was so scared for Hayato, man. Like, bruh, that scene was awesome. I don't think it was on the level of that, but still was awesome nonetheless. And Araki, if I have you guys, I think I'm probably not wrong in saying that Araki is probably the king of suspense in the world of Shonen Jump. Because I've not read or seen any other anime from Shonen Jump that matches suspense quite like Akira or Araki does in JoJo. So yeah. Afterwards, Pesci leads the train. It's like, big bro, is right towards him. And then out the Omega train, a zipper comes down. Out comes Brute, and Bucciarati's like, so, this is how That was a train ride from hell. And I would not have survived without a bit of luck on my side. Pesci's like, oh shit! You know, and as Bucciarati is just slowly coming out the zipper like a fucking badass, man. Man looked like an absolute fucking beast right here, man. It was awesome. So then you got, his brother be like, finish it, Pesci. I will be there for always watching you in the afterlife. Yeah, and well, he doesn't like spit up, but the dude's pretty much at this point. And then they have a standoff, and I love when you see fucking Pesci's face. The man's just like the man just doesn't give a shit. He's just like, oh, you know, he's like, it's very funny. He's in Bruce like, man, the look in his eye. He has seen a lifetime of war, of bloodshed. And his demeanor is downright haunting. And he's like, I will avenge my brother when you do! And he goes after Bucciarati with his fishing line. He manages to nick him in the leg and some blood comes out. And he's like, what the hell? And he's going over like about, or he hits him that first. Then he goes on about saying, "I will avenge my brother's death or I'll avenge my brother with your death." Then he fires off his his fishing rod at him again. Bucciarati just charges right after him, has his arms up guarding him, but the fishing rod just goes right through them and nails him right in his heart. And at this point, I'm like, oh shit, what's gonna happen now? He's like, I got your heart, and he says that this is usually what he would usually do, but he would never have the balls or anything else. But now he doesn't care because watching his brothers just made him become a fucking JoJo or some shit. But then Bucciarati grabs the fishing rod and then just starts punching it a lot. Then the line extends a lot more, and this is when legit gets fucking insane, man. I think he throws the extra line up in the air. It kind of goes around Pesci's neck. The man pulls on it, and his neck. My headset actually almost flied off of that one. When a full 180, it's like on the other side, like this can't be the way I die. Not before I unleash my final attack. And what he shows is that we see Trish. And she's on the turtle, and then he's holding the turtle. It's like, I'm going to make your familia turtle soup. And he's gonna let Trish live, but he's gonna kill the rest of his familia because eye for an eye. You killed my brother, I'm gonna kill your familia. You know that gangster shit. So he goes so Trish kind of runs back over to Bucciarati, and then Bucciarati says, "Oh, I can tell that you were always the colossal screw-up. Don't change on my watch." Oh, really? No. Or he says something about bravado now. That his bravado's gone or something. He's like, oh, really? No. And then just kind of falls over and has a turtle, with a turtle with him, going right into a rock. Bucciarati then disconnects his arm with Zerba and sends it flying to Pesci, nailing him right in the face, sending him flying, and the turtle is fine. And the dude pretty much just dies right then and there. So afterwards, Pesci dies. We see Giorno and the rest of the guys are all fine now. He checks over on Big Bro's chorus pull, like a walkie-talkie or something. And he says, we probably can't go by train anymore. And number 6 is like, yeah, you're probably right about that, Bucciarati. So they're trying to think of a new means of transport over there to get back there, and they probably already know where they're going, so, there's that as well. Then Trish asks, like, hey, can I ask you guys some questions? He says, sorry, we don't have the authority to do that. Our job is only to safeguard life. And she's like, you will ask my fucking questions. What the hell is this footprint on the ground? And before that, we see this kind of like aura kind of forming around Trish before we see the footprint. It looks like a fucking dinosaur or something. And she's going on like, what am I? What is this? Why did my estranged dad put a target on my back? And Bucciarati, and you see the look at number 6, they both realize that she's actually a stand user. And judging by that footprint, she got a big stand. Which I'm definitely intrigued by. I don't know if we're going to see more of it next week, or they're going to keep it on the down low until, everyone's down that she'll come out this big epic showdown with the stand and be like, get away from them, something like that. We'll find out next week. And yeah, that's pretty much how episode ends. We also see this other guy, one of the other guys from the Assassins team, saying they got some blood from, I believe, Bucciarati, and they're like, okay, and they're still on the trip. One thing I noticed is actually this is the first time I'm pretty sure we've ever seen it on Toonami, but we saw the commercial title cards. Now we've usually always seen the screen turn to different colors and then the title of the show pops up: JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Gold to Win, Diamond is a Breakable, yada yada. But never we actually saw what happens after, which I only saw see these when I remember I'm doing the thumbnails, and I get both the dub and the sub just in case the Adult Swim logo gets caught up in a shot that I like, and one clean of watermark. So I always download the sub episode as well to have it just in case I need it. And those you have the stat, whatever stand it is, its name, its user, and some of its stats. I'm pretty sure this is actually the first time we saw Zero, so that was pretty cool to actually see it on Toonami for once. That was hype. So yeah, overall, I'm going to give this episode a 10 out of 10, ladies and gentlemen. This episode was fucking amazing, and I'm definitely excited to see what we got in store for next week. So hope y'all enjoyed the video. Leave a like if you did, subscribe if you're new, follow me on Instagram, Twitter, flag, links down in the description box below, and as always, come back for more. See you guys next time.
She's